Hello students, today's agenda is to learn about the area and circumference of a circle, and you will be able to work on 11.1. Today students will be able to find the circumference and area of a circle. But before we start with that, what I would like for you to understand is where does the formula for circumference and for area come from? So the circumference is something, and actually it's more the radius, the circumference. So let's start by doing a quick review. Circumference is all around. The radius is from the center of the circle, pretending that this is a good circle, is the radius. And from side to side, that's the diameter. So radius is half of the diameter, and the diameter is twice the radius. So you need two radius to make the diameter. And there is a relationship that exists between the circumference and diameter, and cultures from before have seen that. And so that's what we're going to be looking at right now. So we're going to do some experiment with circles of different sizes. And what we're going to measure is the circumference and the diameter. Okay, so let's look at, I'm going to do in inches. I'm going to mark it here. And so let me see if I can zoom out first. That's the most I can. So I'm going to measure the circumference in inches of this circle, and it's an approximation, okay? It's not exact. So we see that this is, if you notice, that's the 0, and it goes to 25 inches. Okay, so the circumference is equal to 25 inches. Okay, I'm going to represent it with a C. And the diameter is going to be the longest distance between the circles. So I'm going to kind of see here where it stands. And it's a little hard because it's not a perfect edge. Okay, but we're going to try our best. And it looks like the longest distance is 8 inches. Okay. So the diameter, which is from one side to the other of the circle, and it goes through the center, is 8 inches. Now, if I divide that number, 25 divided by 8, gives me 3.125. Okay, so the answer is 3.125. And I'm not going to put inches because inches divided by inches is 1, and 1 times 3.125. So basically this just cancels, okay? Let's do one that is a little bit smaller. So the first one was this one right here. Let's do this one now. And again, I'm gonna go around the circle to measure the circumference, just like I did with the other one. And so it says that it's about, right there is the 0. It's a little less than 19. So I would say maybe 18.75. So the second circle is about, the circumference is about 18.75 inches. And the diameter is, and we're gonna try our best, but it looks like it's a little less than 6. So instead of 3/4, it's like 3/4. It's right there. About 7/8 maybe. So 7/8. 0.87. So the diameter is about, whoops, I just forgot the whole number. I just remember so it's 5.87 or so, or 88. 5.88. So I just look at decided to divide the fractions, and so it was about 7/8, or some people would see it as, if they counted the little spaces, all the little spaces, it would be 14/16, and you just divide 14 divided by 16, which is the total, is 0.87. I'm just rounding to the hundreds, okay? And so if we divide those two numbers, again, the circumference divided by the diameter of the circle, what will I get? 18.75 divided by 5.88 gives me 3.19 or so, okay? So that's 3.19. Let's do one more. And this is the tiny one compared to the one that I just did right now. So this is, oops. Oh. Let's see. So it's 9 point, what would that be? About 9.4 or so. So the circumference is 9.4 inches, and the diameter is equal to like 2.8 or something like that. It's not exact, but it's just to give us an idea about these answers. So 2.8, if I divide 9.4 divided by 2.8, it's about 3.36. Okay, so for all of the answers, we notice that one similarity is that it's 3 whole numbers. And basically, when you say where does 25 divided by 8 is 3.125. But if I multiply 3.125 times 8, it's equals to 25. So I'm multiplying the diameter by this number to give me the circumference. The diameter times this number. Now the relationship between this number, and it's something that Babylonians and Egyptians and other cultures noticed a long time ago. They noticed that when they divide the circumference by the diameter, they used to get a number that is very close to 3 or 3.3. Okay, something between those numbers. So they decided to come up with a number to represent, instead of having so many values, they came up with what is called pi. That's where it comes from. Dividing what all around by the diameter, and you get a number that is very close to pi, which is 3.